everybody. How are you guys tonight? Oh, it's show and tell night. Show your work and I'll tell a story. That's the way it's going to be. Sunday show and tell. I was watching Larry and Angie earlier. That was fun. Plus, I had my friend India doing ladies' night. So I've been doing two things at once, and I hope I got everything set and right. I just did a quick sound check, and it sounded pretty good because I moved my microphone just a little bit. Let me move it just a little bit better. There. I moved it just to be a little more out of my way and so that I wouldn't hit it and knock it over, which is always a possibility. So we have everybody checking in. There is Linda. Yep. String out of the fan. I must have missed that part. And I saw Larry, and he was painting. We get to see one of those tonight. And Lupe's here. Yay, Lupe's here. And Larry's, there he is. And Fatima's here. Not direct streaming StreamYards, and next time it's much clearer that way. Yeah, it is kind of, that happens. Well, that was different. What was different? Madonna's here. Maria, Lupe. Yep. Quietly watching, having major muscle spasms. Hard to type. Oh, Fatima, I'm sorry. Those are no fun. Calcium? Or I used to get them. Cramps and muscle spasms. It was a long time ago. Sometimes some potassium salt under your tongue will help a little bit. There is Madonna checking in with everybody. Yeah, we are relief for you. Send you some healing relief, Fatima. This group is good with that. Oh, hey, I'm happy that this is fun to do. I've been all day watching. I watched Winterfest, their color art. There were 15 artists. I watched a bunch, which means I didn't get as much work done as I was going to because I was trying to work and watch. Now, yeah, StreamYard's in it. That's why I'm so glad I use Ecamm, because I don't have to have, of course, because only if you're Mac, you don't have to have StreamYard. I can still do a bunch. All right. Any more of the kids that keep singling, ooh la la, na na na, fabulous but freezing. Thank you. I'm glad you like the background. That was a video from Canva that I pulled in, background video, and then just put a screen overlay over it, a camera overlay. Gail's here. Yeah, fairies in the forest. I think that's a good idea. That's a good one. I'll have to call that one my fairies in the forest. Yeah, Gail's here. Very neat. Hey, Gail, I'm coming to Phoenix in February. I'll be there from the 8th through the 15th. Maybe we can meet halfway for lunch or something when the kids are in school. I'm coming down to watch kids. Gail, yay. What? Thank you. Actually hid someone from my channel. Oh, you accidentally hid someone from a channel from my... yeah. Oh my goodness. Wasn't Angie's though. Hi, Feral Art. Nice to have you here. Oh, yay. It's good to see you. We text, but unless everyone was ignoring me, they couldn't see me. Yay. And Angie's here. Gosh. Only the content creator can unhide. Even if you have a wrench? Huh. Anyway. So tonight is Sunday night, and I've decided that Sunday nights are show and tell. So show you guys his arts and tell the stories. I have planned 2 stories tonight, but I might, they're kind of, with Martin Luther King Day, they're kind of powerful stories that I've been waiting for a right time, and they're totally opposite view. I mean, yeah, one is really heavy and one of them is really uplifting. So we'll see how we go. But for now, though, we're going to jump in to show and tell time. And let's see if this works. Maybe a little too loud. Maybe that was a little too loud. Sorry. I was so excited I made that today. Today we start off with Larry. He showed this today during isn't this the one that you were doing, that you did the time lapse through at the beginning of your live today, Larry? Okay, I gotta move my comment window because it keeps disappearing on me. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I know. Isn't it really pretty? I hope that wasn't too loud. So he just started watercoloring. I must say, I will get over my total jealousy and be inspired fairly soon. But first I'm like, oh my gosh, either that I'm just going to have him draw me sketches and then I can try to watercolor stuff. But man, this is so nice. So, which buildings are those back there behind that are reflected in? Where is that along? That's very cool. I like that. I like that. Any particular spot in the Tacoma Harbor that is supposed to be? Very cool. Yes, really nice. So what else is he saying? Nobody could. Maria. Oh, hi, Studio 15 Acrylics. Hey, welcome. I don't know your name. You'll have to put it in the comments. Welcome to Show and Tell Night. So I'm starting out Sunday nights with showing people's work who send them in to me, and then I'll do the story reading afterwards. So we're starting out with, this is Green Rumors, Larry. He just started watercoloring. And so Studio 15 Acrylics, you will have to tell us your name, and we'll get your channel and tell us what kind of stuff you do. Hey, there's our Flow by Mo. You were so fun on there with those guys on Crunchberries. Mo, that was awesome, Mona. Yay. Okay. We got that, Larry. Okay. And then this is one he did called Companions. I just love it. Look at that. There's the dragon and the wizard. Oh my gosh. Two favorite things of mine. Dragons and wizards. Unknown location. Okay. Thanks, Larry. This is really, really cool. Really cool. I love this. I love especially the moon behind him, the way it glows behind the wizard's hat, and then just the slight bit of the dragon's chest and mirrors his crest. Oh, that's so good. Love it. Love it. Then this is another one he did. I don't remember if I showed I don't think I showed this one. I saw this one on my email the other day because yes. So, like I said, Larry, dang, you just started watercoloring. This is like crazy good. So fun. I know. Oh, maybe Angie, if you guys are, if you're nice to me, I might show you this catastrophe watercolor I have back here. But I won't because I don't have my overhead camera set up. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. I've got my fingers crossed while I'm telling you that little white lie. Oh my goodness. Kelly's here, yeah. It's good to have everybody. Studio 15 is Brian. Studio 15, Brian. Welcome, Brian. Thank you, Kelly, for letting me know that. Appreciate your welcome here. Glad to have you here. So that's Larry's 3 pieces of watercolor. Oh my gosh. So cool. Thank you so much. I don't know where this location is, but it's really nice. I want to go walking there. So next we have, coming along, we have things sent in by Julia, but they're not Julia's pieces. Julia got some pieces from another person in our group, and one was done in dedication for Julia's mom. So these are actually Lupe's, Maria's, as some of you call her, or Lupe from Blind Art Studio, pieces that she did. Right? Julia, I didn't get that wrong from your email, if I write. Let me find your email again. It's right. It's Julia. So tell me that. Julia Lee, there it is. Yeah, she said, I wanted to send the pieces that Lupe was so kind to dedicate to my mama and myself. She sent them to me, and I wanted to hang them and take a picture. The huge piece on the sofa will be stretched and stapled on a frame, which we're going to get to next. Those, and then these. And then the huge piece is on the couch there. She's going to stretch it on a frame. That's going to look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you know, you're right, Kelly. The front does look like a fantasy novel. Yeah, he just started, I know. Kelly's just yelling, what? Now, no screenshots of my crazy faces. That's, you know, I should have put that in the rules of engagement here. No screenshots of my crazy faces. Although I have a feeling that those rules of engagement would be just completely ignored. Which, oh well. Linda says, I quit. That's Venice Boardwalk. Okay, very cool. Venice, California. And hiding your talent. It's a difficult medium. You knocked it out of the park. Exactly, he did. See? Look at that. Fatima says, and if Fatima says so about that. And Lupe, these are beautiful. Yeah, well done, Lupe. I don't think Lupe knew that you were going to do that, Julia. I didn't tell her. I figured it was a secret, but that yellow and blue one, that one right there in front of us is striking. I really like that. But that big floral painting, oh my gosh. Oh, Brian had to go. He was on the bus home from Boston. Oh my gosh. Poor. Well, I'm glad he came. It was, I hope, at least I know what he was doing and I didn't scare him away. So that's what I think we have in the way. Yes, that's what we have in the way of art. So I'll hold this up. This is upside. I mean, this is what I did. Seriously, nothing. I've been just playing with some stuff. But I got these cool new, they're in a little tiny case. I ordered them off of Etsy. Can you, oh here, upside down. There we go. These are watercolors and they have a little magnet on the back. hold them in the pan, and there's not much to them, not much paint. They're a vegan, handmade, sparkly watercolor from a gal called Nibs Pens and Ink. And did I do one? Is it in here? I thought I did a little one. Did a little one. Oops. I thought I had a little one here. Nope. After stuff. Did it go under here? Things are hiding from me today. I didn't put this stuff out for the fairies, so that's hiding. But I played around with them, and they're just really sparkly and kind of fun. I did a background to a Zentopia, or a Zentopia. Where did that come from? Zentangle. Zentopia. Oh, weird. Okay. So, are you ready for stories? I hope so. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Larry's giving Tamara a run for her money. Yes. Love your work. Yeah. Love. Oh, there's Tamara. Hi. Nice to have you here. I started watercoloring this summer, and I just been having some fun. And I found some other stuff too. So I got these. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a weird kind of purchase I got at Blick. They're called Memories by Marshalls, and they're artist pencils. They're for hand coloring photographs. So that's something I want to try. They're the landscape colors. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I just found it. Hang on. It just jumped to the floor. So the little Zentangle I did with those sparkly watercolors, you can't really see the sparkly because I don't have sparkle lights on for you. But they're just really soft. So what I did was I did a wet on wet and just let it go all over. And then I did a Zentangle, and then while we were watching Harry Potter last night, this is what I did. So that's that. So they're kind of fun, but watercolor is crazy. There's so many different things to do with it, different kind of paper and how it works and different methods. I'm just, yeah. Okay, so for this story tonight, looked at the bird baths and they were dry. Well, we've been, our hummingbirds have been having like hummingbird wars, but today they were sitting on the hummingbird feeder quietly because it was raining so hard. They were trying to stay out of the rain. So, the first book tonight, like I said, Martin Luther King Day is tomorrow, holiday. And I picked up this book when I was in New York at the Children's Book Museum, and it just really, I really wanted to share it with you, but over the holidays, you know, it was so cheerful and everything, and I didn't really want to. This is a book of kind of a somber book. But then the second book that goes after it has some pretty uplifting things. So it's a balance. I tried, but it's a book. This is a book that it's another one of those that I'm glad someone wrote it. It's kind of oh gosh, I don't know. It's kind of hard to face, but it's there. And like I said, I'm glad somebody wrote it. So it's called Hear My Voice, and it's the testimonies of children detained at the southern border of the United States. And it's compiled by Warren Binford for Project Amplify. So I'm going to take you to, let's see, this one, yes. And there. I didn't look up Warren Benford a great deal because the book is not, it's not real long. What's cool about this book, and I have it here, but I found it on my Kindle to show it to you. I have it here. It's done this way, it's done in English, and then this way it's done in Spanish. So you get it both ways. I'm not going to attempt to read it in Spanish tonight. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So, but anyway, this is called Hear My Voice. The illustrations are beautiful. Wrong way, I went the wrong way. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. There we go. There. So I tried to make it so that you could see and really outline the edges of the work. The copyright, let's see, when did it come out? It has a fair number, I think, of different illustrators. I'm not sure on this. So I'll just get going on it. The foreword is kind of long, but it says, there's some things about it. It says, a sobbing girl huddled in a chair at the other end of the conference room where one of my colleagues, an emergency room pediatrician, spoke to her gently. At the end of a long day, I asked my colleague what had heard from the girl, but nothing, she replied. She doesn't speak. We were in the Border Patrol Station in Clint, Texas, about 30 minutes southeast of El Paso. Border Patrol stations are closed to the public, but the government is required to allow regular inspections by a team of lawyers and health professionals because of an agreement it reached in 1997. This book is a story for children by children. Wasn't easy to tell, and it isn't easy to hear. But it's not only a story of adults' cruelty and neglect at the end of the day, it's also a story of children's strength and courage and hope. I declare under penalty of perjury that the following is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and recollection. I am 8 years old. I am 14 years old. I am 5 years old. I am 17 and my son is 6 months old. I am 7 years old. My little sister and I came from Honduras. I came from Mexico. I came from El Salvador. I am from Guatemala. We are a family from Ecuador. I left Honduras with my father because Honduras is a dangerous place to live. There were people who wanted to hurt us. There were people who had eyes on me whenever I went to school. Our grandfather saw the gang kill our neighbor. They threatened to kill him, and so we all had to leave. We entered the United States by crossing the Rio Grande. On a raft that started to sink, I got wet up to my waist. One day in the morning, we passed a wire fence with a big sign that read, "Welcome to the United States." They lined us up and checked our skin and our hair. Then they checked our birth certificates. That is when they took my sister away from me. The immigration agents separated me from my father right away. They took us away from our grandmother, and now we are all alone. After they separated us, I was taken to a detention center. There were many children there, perhaps 200 or 300 kids. We are kept in a cage. It is very crowded. There is no room to move without stepping over others. There's not even enough room for the baby to crawl. When we try to complain about the conditions, they start yelling at us. Things like, "You don't belong here. Go back where you came from. You are pigs. You came here to ruin my country." The days here are all the same. We eat 3 times a day, but the food does not fill you up and I am hungry. We get no fruits or vegetables. I'm so hungry that I've woken up in the middle of the night with hunger, sometimes at 4 a.m. We do not know what would happen if we asked for more. We are too scared to ask. Everyone can see me when I am using the toilets. At times I feel so embarrassed because there are boys watching me. My sister and I hold a blanket up for one another so no one can see us when we go to the bathroom. I've been wearing the same clothes for days. I've been here without bathing for 21 days. I wish I could get clean. We sleep stacked on top of each other, shoulder to shoulder. The big kids sleep on the mats, so we have to sleep on the cement bench. It's cold at night, noisy, and the lights are on all the time. We have only an aluminum blanket for warmth, and this is not enough. I have to take my nephew and cuddle with his little body to keep him warm. During the night, when we're trying to sleep, they come in and wake up yelling and scaring us. My sister and I are very scared. So many are sick. I got sick because it was cold. I had a fever. I had a headache, a sore throat, and aches all around my body. My baby began vomiting and having diarrhea. I asked to see a doctor and they did not take us. I asked again the next day and the guard said, "She doesn't have the face of a sick baby." None of the adults take care of us, so we try to take care of each other. There was an 8-year-old trying to take care of a little 4-year-old girl. She did not know how to take care of a little girl, so she kept asking me what to do. I take her to the bathroom, get her my extra food if she's hungry, and tell people to leave her alone if they are bothering her. I'm holding both little girls in my lap to try to comfort them. I need comfort too. I am bigger than they are, but I'm a child too. I have been at this facility for about 3 days. I've been here for 11 days. I've been here for 13 days. I've been here for 18 days. I have been here for 21 days. One of the guards came in yesterday afternoon and asked us how many stripes were on the flag of the United States. We tried to guess, but when we were wrong, he slammed the door. I want our family to be together, to continue working hard in school, to go live with my mother, who is in New York. I wish I had more opportunities to call my family. I wish I could live with my father in Oklahoma. I hope to go with my sister, who lives in Florida, to get out to see my father. That is soon. Special thanks to all the artists who contributed. Celia Ruiz is a Mexican author and illustrator living in Brooklyn. Yuyi Morales was born in Mexico. Juan Palomino is a Mexican children's book illustrator and author. Paco Santoya is a Mexican concept and illustrator. Adriana Campos, a Mexican illustrator and graphic designer living in Mexico City. Salman Durante Granados is from Hidalgo, Mexico, and currently lives in San Francisco. Flavia Zorrilla Zdrago lives in Mexico City. Rayo Flores, Edith Valle, Gloria Felix, Marile Ortega, Maria Lambaras, Adi Riviera Sanda, Beatrix Gutierrez Hernandez, Daniela Martin del Campo, Dominique Arque, and Raul Gonzalez. People from all over who contributed to this book as the illustrators. Raul Gonzalez III is the Pura Belpré winning illustrator of Vamos, Let's Go to the Market. He grew up in El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, and he now lives in Medford, Massachusetts. Amplifying Children's Voices is an international children's right expert. I have spent most of my life working to protect children and families to combat child exploitation around the world, but it is not until 2017 that I was asked to focus my expertise on the systematic mistreatment of children in my own country. This book was really hard for me to read the first time, and probably hard for you to hear, but it's a book that I really felt needed to be shared. It's just one of those horrendous times in our history that this is the kind of book that the voices of the children and the who are impacted is brought out and needs to be heard. It really does. So because there's still difficulties going on there, so this book was brought out and is brought out to continue to bring light to that, and Project Amplify does that. So that is that book that I wanted to share tonight. And let's check in with comments. Let's bring this over here where I don't have to look crossways. Nice. And my comments went all the way back. Let's see. Okay. Did have a dry heat. I had my tissues for the chosen. The next book will, yeah. The challenge, Kelly, making me giggle. I'm catching up with all of the people. People still try to deny that. I know. It's one of. I think that's one of the reasons for this book. These are all the documented stories of the children that. Yeah, there's so many that still haven't been reconnected with families, and that's so sad. So it's one of those projects that I'm going to look into, see what other they're doing and what kind of things that they are supporting and how it keeps growing. It's just it's nice to have someone who was familiar with working in this area with children around the world and brought it and was able to bring it to light in a book like this that was from the voices of those who were impacted. So the next book, though, that I have for you is a little different, and it's still about those children's voices, but it is far more uplifting. And again, how this shows the strength that kids have when faced with all kinds of odds. What do? And all kinds of things, and how kids can really, really make a difference. This book is called No Voice Too Small. 14 young Americans making history. And it's, again, a really fascinating kind of book. This is, let me go back. 14 Young Americans Making History. So it was illustrated by Jeanette Bradley and edited by Lindsay Metcalf, Keela Dawson, and Jeanette Bradley. What happens with this book is that there are different authors who take on the lives of different kids who have done some pretty spectacular things, or who have made a difference, or even just a small difference in a small way, and written up that child's story either in a poem or in basically in poetry form of some time or another. And so it says, we can't delay anymore. We are the change we've been waiting for. We are this change we seek. I can do anything. I can make a difference, and it's amazing. I'm using my voice to spread the message of love. It's hard to hate someone you know. You have the ability to change your own life and the world around you. We can all rise to the top and help other kids who are in the next generation and the next generation of people who want to help change the world. No voice too small. Amplify, a reverso poem by Lindsay H. Metcalf. No voice is too small to solve a problem that's big. A movement can spark within you, your family and friends, your community, your country, within your world. You see a struggle, speak the truth. For others to watch, changes ripple forward. Ripple forward, changes watch for others to speak the truth. You see a struggle within your world, your country, your community, your family, and friends. Within you can spark a movement that's big to solve a problem. No voice is too small. Meet 14 young Americans who opened hearts, challenged minds, and changed our world. Each activist inspired a poet who relates to an aspect of the activist's identity. All along the way, find tips for how you can use your voice to make some noise and make a difference. This reverso poem is just so beautiful. How it starts that first column and then you take everything and just reverse it. I love it. DJ Annie Red, the Anti-Bullying Ambassador, a spoken word poem by Charles Waters. This undeniable whirlwind of energy, proudly representing the People's Republic of Brooklyn, is stationed at her DJ booth, spinning the wheels of steel, taking on bullies with her verbal flow, letting them know their domineering ways have got to go. Her mission to heal our fractured hearts, one beat at a time. When kids teased Samara Harton for her low, raspy voice, she used a microphone to speak even louder. At age 6, she learned how to work a set of turntables and gave herself the stage name DJ Annie Red. Samira raps her song, No, You Won't Bully Me, to empower children in her hometown and across the nation. And here down in the bottom of this page, it says, a catchy tune will stick with people. Set your message to music and people will hum all day. Zaid Ahmed, Defy, a ballad poem by Hannah Khan. Talk to me. Bring me in. Tell me something new. Help me see the many ways I'm just the same as you. Ask me why. Hear me out. Honor what I say. Together we'll defy the hate with one small step each day. Tell your story. Raise your voice. Prove how much kids care. Join with me to make this world a place we're proud to share. Growing up Muslim, Zaid Amid had been treated unfairly. But he also knew that it's hard to hate someone you know. So at 14, he held face-to-face conversations with almost everyone in his high school. Then he created an online platform where students shared their stories and encouraged others to accept everyone for who they are. His TEDx Teen Talk about using personal connections to stop hate has been viewed all over the world. You can break down stereotypes when you speak out and when you listen. Judy Adams. My name is Judy, a free verse poem by Fiona Morris. I am your friend. I am your cheerleader. I make wishes come true, just like that. My gifts I give to all, dreamers who dream big. My path is my own and my inspiration untamed. Listening for other voices to speak clear and loud for all to hear. I listen to the song coming from inside your heart, and I put inspiration into a jar, one by one, dime by dime, while I gather wishes like stars. We'll make them all come true to shine. Judy Adams didn't like to see her mother cry. Her mom wanted to grant a wish to a young man with Down syndrome, but she hadn't raised enough money. So 12-year-old Judy created Dimes for Down Syndrome, a quest to collect 1 million dimes. Judy also led others as a high school cheerleader and gymnastics coach for kids who have medical needs. She speaks out about living with Down syndrome. Small change adds up. Collect coins in a container you decorate yourself. Where will you donate the money? What a great idea. Levi Draheim, The Rising Tide, a free verse poem by G. Neary. The rain falls, the wind howls, the ocean is on the rise, and we are on the run again. I live on a barrier island as flat as the Florida pancake, with the sea on my front door whispering, it's time to go. And every time we flee, I wonder, how can some people think this isn't real? I keep hearing there's no such thing as climate change, but I know the seas are rising. I can see it. Maybe they don't care about our future. But you want to know what else can rise up? Me. I can become the sea of change, a tide that won't stop. If adults won't stand up for our future, then I will. 'Cause somebody's got to act like a grown-up around here, even a kid like me. Levi Durham feared that the seas would swallow his home in Florida before he could grow up and become a marine biologist. In 2015, at age 8, he signed on as the youngest of 21 kids who sued the United States government for failing to act on climate change. The lawsuit aimed to force the government to limit the use of fossil fuels and restore a stable climate. Changing laws can take a long time. Work with friends to help you get energized. Let's keep energized. Jazz Jennings, Free, a free verse poem by S. Bear Bergman. They gave me a ball and I ran with it, Jazz says, as far and fast as I could. The tiniest snippet on the soccer field, but she never felt small. Do what you want and be proud of what you can do, Jazz says, even if people say you're selfish. That's just what they say about girls who are confident. When she got the chance to speak, she took it and taught us. Ran trans awareness forward down the field, fast and free. I was a rascal, Jazz says, but when the time came, I knew what I could do. I always knew. When she was 3, Jazz Jennings told her parents that she isn't a boy, she's a girl. Then she proudly told the world. Jazz is many things: public speaker, author, television star, and clothing designer, but first she was an athlete. When her local girls' soccer team banned Jazz from playing, she and her family took the fight to the United Nations Soccer Federation. Now, thanks to Jazz, transgender soccer players nationwide can play on teams aligned with their genders. Just be you, not the you others expect. Like you, the you inside. Loving yourself can break down barriers. Sierra Fields, Who's She? 2 Cinquain Poems by Tracy Sorrell. Who is she? Cherokee girl, a jingle dress dancer, traditional arts creator, honored. Who is she? Youth advocate, a cancer survivor, strong voice for the voiceless victims, mighty. Sierra Little Waterfields began sharing information about her experiences with skin cancer when she was 12. She traveled and spoke out to improve health care in the Cherokee Nation. One day, when she was far from home, a man sexually assaulted her. She refused to keep the attack a secret. Telling and writing her story empowered her and gave other Native women courage to speak of their own pain. The truth is powerful. Revealing it can change attitudes. Noah Barnes, Marching for a Cure. A Tanka sequence by Lindsay H. Metcalf. I don't think I remember. Diabetes is insulin shots in public, finger pricks, blood tests. Enough, Noah Barnes decides. If there's a cure, I'll find it. He and Dad pack gear, GPS, snacks, sunscreen, meds. Marching like ants, they inch across the map, Key West to the opposite corner. Marble steps lead to governors, doctors, donors. He speaks. They promise to work as hard on as his shoes. Then time for school on the road. War sites, trail of tears, tales of survival give hope. Rockies rise, shins scream, sugars drop. Cheese puffs revive. Forge on through heat, rain, and pain. Kid versus disease. He builds his future by foot. 22 million feet on his coast-to-coast path. How many more till a cure? The year he turned 11, Noah Barnes wore through 11 pair of shoes while crossing the entire country on foot. The purpose of Noah's March, his 4,240-mile trek from Key West, Florida to Washington state border with Canada, was to inspire people to help cure his disease, type 1 diabetes. Noah and his dad walked about 20 miles a day, stopping along their route to talk with reporters, politicians, and locals about the challenges of living with childhood diabetes. Join and organize a local charity walk to raise money and awareness for a cause you care about. Jaslyn Charger, Water Protector. I think, didn't we read this book, I Am a Water Protector? We need the river more than it needs us. We saw it was time for us to stand up against the black snake that would poison our earth and destroy our water, like that snake of despair that led too many of our sisters and brothers to give up on this life. Ever since the first Europeans came up the swilling waters of Minnesota, our elders have tried again and again to teach them to respect its blessing. Now it is our time. Our new generation will not give up this sacred struggle. It is for our lives, for all our relations. At age 19, Jaslyn Chargers set up a camp with a few friends near Munisosa, the Lakota name for what colonizers call the Missouri River. They were protesting the construction of a pipeline that threatened to leak oil into the river, which supplies drinking water for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe as well as millions of people downstream. Jaslyn led 2 long-distance protest runs, one all the way to Washington, D.C. Thousands more water protectors joined the protest on the reservation in North Dakota. Mary Copeny, Little Miss Flint, a concrete poem by Carol Boston Waterford. Some things can be bottled, like water, for example. Bottled water is a lifeline for communities where water is not fit to drink, like Flint, Michigan, for example. Their lead pipes poisoned the water, sickening many who drank it or bathed in it. Luckily, water can be bottled, but some things can't, like Mary Copeny, who at 8 years old wrote a letter to President Obama asking for his help. He flew to Flint to meet with Mari, but she didn't stop there. She raised funds for bottled water, kids' backpacks, and movie tickets. If we could bottle Mari's courage, commitment, and compassion, Flint would have clean water. Justice would flow like a river, and no one would thirst. Mari Copeny became an activist at age 8 because her life depended on it. In 2014, the town of Flint, Michigan began to get its water from a new and cheaper source. Treated improperly, the Flint River water corroded city pipes and became contaminated with lead and other toxins. The stinky brown water caused rashes and other sicknesses. The doctors warned that long-term exposure to lead damages children's brains, blood, digestive systems, kidneys, and more. Years after Mari's first opened bottles of water to take a bath and help her family cook, she still speaks out about the importance of safe water as Little Miss Flint. In your city or state, who has the power to make things change? Write them a letter and ask for what you need. Zach Walls, With All Due Respect, a triolet poem by Leslie Newman. I love my mothers more than words can say. They love me and they love each other too. We're family in each and every way. I love my mothers more than words can say. Straight or bi or trans or queer or gay, all couples have the right to say, I do. I love my mothers more than words can say. They love me and they love each other too. At 19, Zach Walls spoke before Iowa lawmakers about his experience growing up with 2 mothers. The speech went viral. Zach had learned in Boy Scouts that if he saw a problem, he needed to act. So he used his internet fame to start Scouts for Equality. The organization led the Boy Scouts of America to end its discriminatory practice of not allowing gay members. In 2019, Zach became an Iowa state lawmaker to continue his work toward equality. Zna Aria Capera, The Orange Tree, an elegy poem by Andrea Lani. I think. Oh, one more or 2. Got back. There we go. The seed was Hadia's smile, gone far too soon. The sprout arose from Niza Ari's choice to honor the life of her friend through compassion in action. The roots intertwined her classmates' dreams of a neighborhood, city, state, and country free from gun violence. The fruit bore the color of a hunter's vest, the color that shouts, protect me, don't shoot, my life matters. Project Orange Tree first bloomed at one school on the south side of Chicago, but as more seeds fall, It spread into an orchard across an entire nation of grieving students, friends, families, and communities all shouting, "Enough." When Zna Ari Kapra was 16, her friend Hadia Pendleton was shot and killed. Working through her grief, Nazahari joined friends and neighbors to raise awareness about gun violence in Chicago. They hosted open mic events, candlelight vigils, and a day of fasting and wearing orange. Nazis are a grassroots organizing group from Project Orange Tree into the National Wear Orange campaign, embraced by celebrities and politicians. Now, National Gun Violence Awareness Day happens every June in honor of Hadia's birthday. Host a color-themed day in your school or in your community to get people thinking about a cause you care about. Virianda Sanchez Santos, quinceañera at the Capitol, un baile de movimiento. An onomatopoeic poem by Guadalupe Garcia Macal. I didn't see this one. Click, click, clash. Let these heels assert our stance. We are beautiful, yes we are. We are important and we belong. Swish, swish, swoosh. Let our skirts flare up like wings. We are fearless, yes indeed. We are worthy and we are strong. Click, click, clash. Let our sashes scream and shout. We have dignity, yes we do. We have courage and we have pride. Swish, swish, swoosh. We crown our heads and hold them high. This is the dance you cannot have. This is the dance we will not sit out. Here on the steps of this Capitol, this dance belongs to us. Click, click, clash. No mas. In 2017, Virianda Sanchez Santos was concerned that part of a new Texas law allowed police to demand immigration papers of anyone. Viri didn't have them. Her fear of deportation turned to action when she realized that police might target brown people. She dug out the dress she had worn for her quinceañera, her 15th birthday celebration. Then she rallied 14 friends and sashayed to the Texas state capitol in protest. They called their graceful show of power Quinceañera at the Capitol. Adora Sibidak, Adults Can Learn from Kids, a free verse poem by Janet Wong. Oh, Janet's so good. The best and the highest, brightest adults in the world, activists, artists, authors, educators, engineers, mathematicians, musicians, and scientists, laughed in disbelief and delight when Andora Svitak, 12 years old, told them, adults can learn from kids. It bordered on scolding when she challenged them to turn kids into better adults than you have been. She seemed so adult already, someone who had left childhood behind, an old laptop and hundreds of stories ago. Now we wait and hope that what she said will come true. We need you, the ones who will bring this world forward. Adora Svitak began writing down her ideas about reading, technology, and the power of youth at age 4. At 8, she published a book of writing tips and taught her first class. A video of her speech, What Adults Can Learn from Kids, captivated millions of grown-ups nationwide. Hundreds of stories, articles, and speeches later, Adora has been honored by a national group of teachers for her efforts to improve education. Education changes hearts, even in adults. Research your topic and use what you learn to tell an adult why you are seeking change. And Marley Diaz, Once, by a free verse poem by Nikki Grimes. Yay, Nikki. Once a girl named Marley, hardly older than you, tired of tripping over the invisible spaces on her 5th grade reading list, Mysteriously missing were stories starring girls who looked like her. "What are you going to do about it?" asked her mom. The question swept her out to sea of her own imagination. Riding the waves, she dreamed of schools with black girl stories stacked till they skimmed the sky. "Oh," she thought Marley suddenly, "that's what I can do." Back she swam to the world of now, heart dancing to the rhythm of a new idea. She gathered a mountain of books, boasting characters as sun-drenched as she, for schools and libraries near and far. Little by little, Marley Diaz became a literary star. Thousands of books later, her dreams is still coming true. It's your turn now. Close your eyes. Dream a little. Imagine what you can do. Marley Diaz loved to read and wanted more books featuring girls who looked like her. She thought other black girls deserved that, so Marley launched the hashtag 1,000 Black Girl Books social media campaign with the goal of collecting 1,000 books. In the first year, 8,000 books flooded into her school and to others around the world. Marley speaks all over the country and has a book of her own now called Marley Diaz Gets It Done, and so can you. So make some noise. A free verse poem by the 3 people who edited this book. Sometimes we see a problem and our hearts ache and we think someone should do something. But who is someone? And what is something? These 14 young Americans chose to be the someone who spoke up, stood up, leaped on stage. They took the mic, made small voices big, and did something to change the world. Each of us can be the someone who does something. We can speak our heartache, sing our joy, and share our dreams. We may be small, but we can roar. And then it says, not sure how to start? Ask yourself, what is the problem? Why do I care? Why are things the way they are? Who has the power to make change? Who else cares about this issue? What adults or group can support me? What do I want? When do I want it? Who am I trying to convince? And what's the best way to teach them? So that, and then at the end of the book, it has all about the different poetry forms and who the poets were. Look at all these people. Where's Nikki? There's Janet Wong. She used to live in Seattle. I don't know if she still does. There's Nikki Grimes. Yes. Anyway, if you guys are still here, it's a long one. I just love that book. I think it's one of those wonderful book featuring, I mean, the kids do such amazing things. And it was just, yeah, it was just such a powerful book of kids from all over have done so many different things. Anyway, just what habit. Yes, I understand, Larry. We used to have to, I saw that thing about the nails. We used to have to sneak up on one of our dogs while he was asleep. Sometimes take us 2 weeks to get him all done because we would have to, he'd get one, he'd jerk away as soon as we got one. All right, you guys. Conversation about, I'm not, type 1, yes. So I hope you guys liked the book. I know it was a little bit longer. We've run a little bit longer than our times. And, but it, like I said, it is a book that just has so much in it. And when I saw that it was one of the ones, one of the top 20 books in a list, I thought of good ones for kids, and it was like, oh, I haven't looked at it, and I found it, and I thought, oh, that would be a perfect balance to hear our voices, hear our voice. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are having a good conversation there. And we had several. Oh yeah. Quinceañeras are beautiful. When we lived in Edmonds, we lived right in a condo next to the ferry dock, and between us and the ferry dock there was the senior center, and so we were right on the beach, and they would hold weddings and all kinds of stuff at the senior center at this place. But when they held the quinceañeras, oh, all summer long, there was always, and into the beautiful ones, and they were so much fun, and the party went on and on. It was beautiful. I loved it. I'm glad you liked the book, Kelly. I really am. It is a beautiful book. I'm going to, I think I'm going to get it for my granddaughter, for Layla. There's a lot of kids out there. Then if you know any of them, and their parents are always like, well, they're always got these, I don't know, and they can have a book like this that can show them it doesn't take, they can do things in small steps. Like the little girl who did dimes for downs. What an amazing idea. I mean, all kinds of stuff. We had at the school where I taught for years, we had a boy who had severe a childhood form of cancer, and he was struggling. He was in and out of the hospital. So one of the students, this was when I was librarian, one of the students decided that he would grow his hair for this little boy, and he grew it out for Locks for Love. And I mean, he grew it. This was a kid who was like in kindergarten, and he grew it all the way down to his waist. It was just amazing. So the school, we helped organize this thing because he was going to get his hair cut, and for Locks for Love, organized to have a Zamboni come out to the school, and part of this whole fundraiser, and he did this. It was just one of these really spectacular, it was a little community, and it was just an amazing thing. But that one kid, that's what he did, and he's gone on. I know he's probably a dad, or an adult. He's working out in the field, but I've heard that he's gone on and done some pretty other things that are ways to give to others. And I think that if you start it young with kids, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, folks, I'm glad you liked the book. Thank you much for sharing both those. Always told my call much from them as they did from me, if not more. Exactly. We do. We learn so much more from them than we do. I tell you, there we go. I'm going to do that. And we learn from kids. I learn from kids so much all the time. All right, you guys. We are, and that was great. Thank you. So everybody, that was show and tell night, story time, and sharing your art. I'll be back on Thursday with stories, and I might have an art idea. I've been working on another part of it. So next Sunday will be show and tell again. So gather up your things, any kind of things you have and you want to send in, and send them in to Images by Gretchen at iCloud.com, and please put live art in the subject. Helps me find them in subject line. If you email the images by Gretchen at iCloud.com, and get them to me at least, maybe a couple hours before the show starts so that I can make sure that I have a scene and have them pulled in to the show. Then it makes it easier for me. I appreciate it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here, everybody. And I hope you have this kicks off your week well. It does for me. And thanks for letting me share a couple books that I really felt strongly about. And I hope you enjoyed them. And also anybody who has lives coming up or any kind of premieres coming up, regular, I know Larry and Angie did theirs tonight. Who else has? Lupe will probably post again tomorrow. Kelly, I can't remember when do you have a regular schedule? If you guys have regular scheduled things that you post, let us know. Put them in there so that we can all hop on there. That share part, I found I did this for a friend of mine. Found it was really easy on that share. I can click and you can share a channel as a post. And now that since most everybody has the community tab, I thought that was nice to be able to do. My friend Luis has a Project Card Junkie, a PCG, and he's just started it, and so that was fun to share up. But Larry, I sent you a link. I sent it to your email, but to a gal who was doing a resin coat on a guitar, and I think it was in Winterfest today. So, but I sent you that. It was really fun to watch. Share is brilliant. Yes. Yes. It is brilliant, and it's very helpful for all of us. And I think if we all, every once in a while, just, made sure we shared each other's stuff out, because it goes out to our own community, to people who are following us. And then that it's the only way that everybody all grows and everything. So, all right, you guys, until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in the mirror, and you'll see it looking right back at you. Until next time, take care and be kind and be healthy. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way. I almost got it right.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feel alright, we won't go home, we will just
Congratulations,
stay
Tamara.
downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard.
Storytime Thursday.
They're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards. I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous.
The crumb under your K.
Blow my
That's
mind.
funny, Larry.
Looking like a model, better than usual. Yeah, you don't even try. Not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard. They're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh,
Yes.
you got me
Exactly.
feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow.
Yay!
You got me feeling starstruck too.
Oh.
We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous.
Is that better, Lupe? Thanks, hon, for letting me know.